training review for the Office of Injured Employee Counsel, a comparative study of 2009 and 2014. Laurie Garnes presenting. In this study, I have reviewed cultural artifacts from the training programs of the Customer Service Department for the Office of Injured Employee Counsel through the lens of classical management style to see if the agency is moving closer to this rigid structure or if they are using a more open, knowledge-based system. I used a conceptual approach to content analysis to review the textual data. Content analysis provides a method of studying changes in processes or trends over time. Baby, 1998. The text is a series of training documents provided to new customer service representatives with the Office of Injured Employee Counsel. These training documents came from 2009, when I began my service with the agency, and from 2014, as I am a trainer at the agency for the same department at this time. These training texts include online video, PowerPoint slideshows, and documents. It also includes physical manuals and trainer resources. To review the textual documents, I've defined 3 categories. Procedure documents, which are documents that give instructions on how to do a task, knowledge documents, which explain concepts, and culture documents that provide information relating to the culture of the organization. There were some documents that included elements of more than one concept, and so were counted in each category. So this means that the breakdown may not match the total number of documents, but I have defined how many of those occurred. In 2009, there were a total of 53 documents. Only 5, or 9.4%, of the documents gave instructions on how to perform tasks. 39, or 73.6%, were explanations of concepts within workers' compensation, and 12 documents, or 22.6% of the total, provided cultural information for the organization. In 2014, there is almost a complete reversal of the weight of procedure and knowledge and a significant reduction in cultural information. You can see that procedure had 30 documents out of 38, making that 78.9%. For knowledge documents, there were only 5 at 13.2%, and culture had lost some, so that there were only 4 documents, counting at 10.5% of the total. Using a conceptual approach to content analysis only provides a snapshot of the data. The researcher can only extrapolate as far as the data will allow. Bush et al., 2012, page 4. There is an obvious numerical shift. This could provide an opportunity for sense-making within the organization according to Weeks' retrospective sense-making model, which states that people sometimes examine their actions after they are done to explain the meaning of the actions. Eisenberg, Goodall, and Trethway, 2010, page 91. Now that the shift in training material has occurred, the Office of Injured Employee Counsel may try to use this to explain their actions. They may also use this information to gain an understanding of the direction that training has taken, to review if this is where it needs to go or if there needs to be a change. Would it be helpful to have a greater balance of procedure and knowledge? Should cultural documents get closer examination? 2009 included the Customer Service Representative's Training Manual that was a 64-page document including elements of procedure, knowledge, and culture. And 2014 included 2 major documents. Workers' Compensation 101, which is a 249-slide PowerPoint presentation that is intended to be given over a 2-day period, and the Workers' Compensation Desk Book, which is a 150-page reference source. The question becomes whether or not these larger documents are being taught. In my experience, they are not. They are simply provided. the new representative is left to their own devices to read and understand these documents. I used classical management theory as a lens through which to evaluate the training materials. Bureaucracy is a key element of this theory. Eisenberg, Goodall, and Trethway, 2010, page 69. W. R. Scott, 1981, defined 7 characteristics of a bureaucracy: a fixed division of labor among participants, a hierarchy of offices, a set of general rules that govern performances, a rigid separation of personal life from work life, the selection of personnel on the basis of technical qualifications and equal treatment of all employees, and participants' view of employment as a career. The Office of Injured Employee Counsel clearly fits this model, and based on the findings of this review, could be seen as moving even further into this management style. There were certainly rules that governed performance in 2009, but the number of training documents for this is 6 times higher in 2014 than it was in 2009. The loss of documents addressing culture could be interpreted as further separation of personal life from work life, as it makes the job more impersonal. Over this period, the agency has gone from an open, communicative organization to a more closed style of communication, and this is recognized through my own personal experience. Reviewing the cultural artifacts in the form of training documents of the Customer Service Department for the Office of Injured Employee Counsel from 2009 and 2014 has provided some valuable information regarding trends in the focus of the agency. It is clear that more weight is currently being placed on procedure and less on knowledge, which can make it difficult for representatives to make decisions or help customers in the most effective way, as they do not have the knowledge to make judgment calls on many cases. However, the study does not evaluate the quality of the documents reviewed. There were many documents in 2009 that were poorly written and difficult to understand. The study also does not address how the documents are being used. For example, there is a desk reference that could be a wonderful knowledge source, but it is simply available to the representative. It is not being used for teaching purposes. The Workers' Compensation 101 slideshow has potential, but it is limited by available travel budget. Otherwise, it is used via teleconference, and this is more difficult to concentrate as people move in and out of the representative's semi-public desk area. Sometimes it is not used at all if scheduling becomes too difficult. These are further studies that can be used to address these topics. For further information, please see the attached references.